With fewer than 100 days until the midterm elections, 5 more states head to the polls today as primary elections ramp up across the country. And here to walk us through today's races is ABC News political director Rick Klein. Rick, thanks for being with us.
Thanks,
so
Amy.
First, just a generic question. What stands out to you today about the races?
Yeah, Amy, all the states voting today have at least one Republican candidate running for a big office who's an election denier, someone that denies the legitimacy of the last election. The biggest battle, look at the battleground states. Start in Arizona. Donald Trump and Mike Pence are on opposite sides of the race for governor. You've got Kari Lake, the Trump candidate, who says that Biden wasn't legitimately elected. Meanwhile, you've got Pence and a lot of the Republican establishment trying to make it happen for a candidate who is more in the mainstream in their view of the Republican Party. Also, a Senate race there. We're going to find out who takes on Senator Mark Kelly, a big, big race this fall. And up in Michigan, check this out. You've got Gretchen Whitmer, the Democratic governor. She finds out who she faces in the fall. She was on Biden's short list a couple of years ago. That's an important state for 2024. Also, abortion rights, a big issue there, and a bunch of other places.
We've talked about the importance of Trump's influence on these elections. What about the 10 Republicans who voted to impeach him? How are their primaries going?
Yeah, Amy, walk with me, because I'll tell you about this, because there's only 10 of them. You can really drill down pretty deep. 4 of those 10 decided not to even run again because they realized that Republican politics had moved so far. One of them, Adam Kinzinger from the January 6th committee. Meanwhile, 2 of them have faced voters, 1 win and 1 loss. Tom Rice in South Carolina, he got blown out. David Valadao in California, he got through to the general election. But one of the main reasons, Amy, is that in California, all candidates run together, Democrats and Republicans in the same primary. So that meant he didn't have to face voters directly on the Republican side. We've got 4 left, 3 of them today, and it's all going to culminate with Liz Cheney's primary, another January 6th figure in just 2 weeks. And
so the Republicans who are on the ballot today, how are they expected to do?
Yeah, 3 of those 4 are on the ballot today. And here's what's interesting. In Washington state, they do things a lot like California. All the candidates run together. That might help Jamie Herrera Butler and Dan Newhouse because they don't get a head-to-head against a Trump-backed Republican. Peter Meyer in Michigan, he's not so lucky. He is going up against a Trump-backed challenger. And get this, the Democrats are actually helping fund a campaign to help that candidate, the Trump-backed candidate in Michigan, because they think he would be easier to beat in the fall. So Peter Meyer hearing it and getting it from both sides.
All right, for the first time since Roe versus Wade was overturned, abortion now on the ballot, where all eyes are on Kansas. What can we expect there today?
Yeah, this matters if you live in Kansas or really basically anywhere in the country, potentially. This is the first time in half a century that we've had a popular vote in a state directly on abortion rights. And in the state of Kansas right now, there's a constitutional right to an abortion. Voters today will vote on whether to keep that or get rid of it, which could free them up to ban abortion. And here's why that matters, Amy, is that if Kansas bans abortion, look at the other states around it that have also banned abortion. Right now, if you live basically anywhere in the South or the Southwest, Kansas could be the closest place to get a legal abortion. That could start to change based on today's vote.
And do Democrats believe that this issue of women's reproductive rights, is that a winning issue for them come midterm elections?
They sure think so. And Kansas is going to be a great test case of this. If they can get people out there in the middle of the summer to stand up for a woman's right to choose, that's going to have repercussions there. And in lots of other states, places like Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, places that are closely divided, you could see a boost in Democratic turnout. But things really start with today's vote.
Yeah. And speaking of what also is on the agenda, of course, we had last night's news of a successful strike against the al-Qaeda leader, Ayman al-Zawahiri, someone we've talked about for so many years, and now finally that successful strike. There's also a surprise deal with the Senate Democrats on reconciliation package. President Biden has some favorable news, obviously, in both of those places. So how is that going to translate potentially into midterm elections?
Yeah, he's got a bit of a winning streak right now. And what's interesting, we've seen this in polling over the last couple of weeks and months. You're seeing Joe Biden's numbers really terrible. And Senate Democrats think they've got a better chance, and the congressional ballot doing a little bit better. If Biden's numbers get up just a little bit, I've talked to Democrats who feel like maybe that the worst predictions of 2022 don't come through. They still are bracing for a very rough year, but some of these wins could add up.
Yeah, those were some wins, but obviously we always talk about it's about the economy. And so he's still battling that as well. How does that all play into it?
Yeah, people are always going to come back to what does it cost. And the fact that gas prices are down a little bit, maybe it feels a little better. They're still way too high for most people's wallets and expectations. And more Democrats are even saying that right now. All
right, we'll see what happens. ABC News political director Rick Klein, thank you as always for that perspective that we need. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here. to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.